the criminal investigation team quickly arrived. According to forensic field investigation, the victim didn't die from drowning, but from a heavy hit to the skull. Captain Chase found Nancy in her mother's house. Nancy was shocked by the news and followed Captain Chase to the police station to identify the body. Captain Chase had to interrogate Nancy, asking her why Ray had gone to the river. Nancy didn't say anything about Ray's murder. She just said that Ray took a phone call and she went home alone. Captain Chase asked why you didn't call your husband when he didn't come home. Nancy said she lost her cell phone. Yesterday was her sister's death anniversary. So she didn't go home but went straight to her mother's. Chase said they found her cell phone a few kilometers away from where Ray died. Nancy just said casually that she couldn't remember. And then she turned angry and asked Captain Chase why she was torturing her instead of trying to catch the killer. Nancy woke up after a long sleep at her mother's house and wanted to go home to be alone. When she got back home, she saw a big poster about debt collection and her apartment was broken in. Nancy sat down on the floor and cried. Nancy's mom came to her boyfriend's place and they were both very upset. He looked strange and asked if he had to wash the car. Nancy's mom nodded. It wasn't just dirt that had been washed off the car, but a large bloodstain. Captain Chase checked Ray's phone records from last night and found only one outgoing call. There were several missed calls from someone named Holly. She and Ray talked quite a bit. They were definitely in a relationship. While the detectives were complaining about Ray cheating on her after less than a year of marriage, they immediately set out to find Holly. Surprisingly, she was a colleague of Nancy. In this moment, Holly was pretty upset. Her co-workers were talking about Ray's death, and she looked very strange, and was in a daze. When Captain Chase and the others arrived, Holly had just left. She wanted to go home for a while. In the car, she got a call from a colleague who told her that the police were looking for her. When she got home, she anxiously pulled out a bloody shirt. By the time the police came to her door, Holly had already thrown the bloody shirt in the trash. She denied her relationship with Ray, arguing that they had only talked about meaningless things. Captain Chase found new evidence, the photos of the two of them in a hotel room together. Holly was deflated when she saw the photos. Captain Chase asked about what they had talked on the phone. Holly said Ray told her to wait for him at the JL hotel, which they didn't go to often. Ray had booked the room for that night. They met there drinking and having sex. Then she fell asleep, and when she woke up, Ray was no longer in the room. The police had no other evidence but to let Holly go. Captain Chase went to the JL hotel and found out that Holly and Ray did check in last night. The police continued to check the surveillance, which only showed Holly checking in. But they didn't catch Ray and Holly leaving because the camera was damaged. Captain Chase asked the detective why Ray met his mistress on the same night when he already got plans with his wife going to the river. Nancy was awakened in her sleep by a knock on the door and was slapped in the face when she opened the door. Her in-laws were there, and her mother-in-law kept questioning Nancy. She cried out that Nancy had killed her son. Captain Chase came looking for Nancy. Ray's mother rushed to the police to tell Nancy on them. Captain Chase ignored it and announced that Ray and Holly were having an affair. Nancy didn't seem particularly surprised, but Ray's mother was stunned. Captain Chase then demanded to take Ray's computer so that she could check his WhatsApp history. Nancy handed over the laptop and the police left. A huge debt and crazy mother-in-law, Nancy felt so exhausted. She went to the insurance company and asked when she would get Ray's insurance money. But her mother-in-law followed her there. She grabbed her, cried and yelled at her for killing her son for money. Nancy ran out of patience and told her that Ray owed a lot of money. She dialed Howard's phone right away, glaring at her mother-in-law and telling Howard that Ray's parents had a house back home. Nancy's mother-in-law was so scared. She grabbed the phone and hung up, shamelessly arguing that, "You're his wife, of course you have to pay his debts, not us." Nancy came into her office and ran into Holly. The colleagues knew about Holly and Ray's relationship and were waiting to see the drama. Nancy and Holly had torn each other apart. Holly had mocked Nancy for not being able to keep her husband. It was such a mess at the working place, so Holly quit her job. When she came home, she couldn't help but feel miserable. Her father was very patriarchal. Has never ever been nice to her. He gave all his money to her brother and she didn't got a penny. Holly accidentally spilled something she got from work. She found a business card for the Mayflower Hotel in Nancy's folder by accident. It was the hotel where she and Ray used to go. How could Nancy have a business card? Holly immediately went to the front desk of the hotel and asked if he had seen Nancy. The receptionist took Holly's money and told her that Nancy had been here 3 months ago. Holly recalled how everything started with Ray. He used to pick Nancy up and wait for her at her work spot. They had gotten to know each other over time. She was trying to seduce him. When a colleague casually said that Holly's family was rich, Ray's eyes lit up and he immediately flirted with Holly. He even offered to drive her home, acting quite nice and gentle. Nancy did know about their affair and took pictures of them. Now Holly found out about it. She believed it was all Nancy's setup and was so angry that she almost had a car accident. Nancy, on the other hand, was burning the photos of Ray and Holly. Her face was dark.